All right, how is everyone doing? We are here with our continuing on with our preview, our second video. This is gonna be Wednesday the 14th.
Day two.
It's day 2 of recording here. Although we're still in the same clothes, it is a different day's video.
We are held up in Mike's basement studio, though.
Yes. This video we're gonna talk. We have a bunch of interviews that we compiled in the preseason through some scrimmages of both coaches and wrestlers. I'm joined here, as you can see in the graphic below, by Nate Heckenberger from the Daily Local, and as always, my partner in crime, Glenn Kaiser, former head coach at Hatboro Horsham, current coach at Hatboro Horsham to some extent. But like I said, we're going to do wrestling interviews and coach interviews, and that video, we're going to break that in a second. Upon coming back from the video, we're going to talk about the top incoming freshmen here in District 1. From there, we're going to go talk about top returning wrestlers. We're going to talk a little bit about guys that we think can make that next step, whether getting to the States or getting into that top 8 and getting on the podium. And finally, we'll finish up with our current District 1 college commitments for wrestling at that next level. We have some juniors and some current seniors that have already made their commitments. So with that said, we're going to break now, and you're going to watch the interviews that we compiled, and we'll be back in a little bit.
So this team, we have a really young team. We had a lot of seniors that left last year. Not most people on the team is underclassmen, so a lot of it is like building them up for the future. But I think we'll have a good team, like really young and people that want it. Good numbers, better numbers than last year. I had 14 wins last year. My goal is to double that, get 28 to 30. My goal is to make it to regionals. That's my personal goal. Yeah, we got some new guys coming in, old teammates of ours coming in, helping us, really pushing us to do good, like killing us. But it's all good. We're all getting better.
Look forward to go to states. Looks like top 3 regionals. Pretty excited about this season. I think it's going to be pretty good. For a little bit, it really sucks, but, it just makes me even more motivated to get back out there and try to get with it. Try to, make up for what I didn't do last year. Try to be even better this year, And I'm real pumped to just get out there and go for it. I got nothing to lose. So. Oh, yeah, it elevates everybody's level, because everybody's wrestling these super good kids. They're all learning something. They're all learning something new. And it's just hype because, you got this one kid who's super good. You go out there, you wrestle him the hardest you can, and you got nothing to lose. It's pretty simple. So, team-wise, I think everybody's looking good. We're all doing good. I'm excited for my team this year. I think we're all going to do really good.
My expectations getting out the States. Just missed it last year, so hopefully get out there, possibly medal for the team. Hopefully we can win the league. Going to be a tough season, but we'll see how we do. Definitely Sam Coons. Yeah, I definitely want to see him. Yeah, coming in like heavier in weight, you want to put on size for football, and then cutting that down for wrestling. It's a big transition. The cutting weight, the conditioning is just comes along with it. It's just a lot different. Yeah, so there's a lot of new guys. We're looking forward for them to, improve through the season. A lot of veterans too. Just a lot of diversity to wrestle around with. You can learn from every guy. I mean, depending on where Gavin is, I'm wrestling him now. It'll be fun to see him again. We have a lot of dual. Maybe Zach Borzio, probably from Quakertown. He's a good guy.
It's been a little bit difficult, getting back into wrestling shape, but it's only the beginning of the season, so I've been working my ass off just to get back in mid-season form, mid-season form. Yeah, it definitely does, right? Raise the expectation. We always want to strive for better, and we want to make the team states this year. That's a big goal for us. So we're going to work hard in the room, make it happen. Yeah, it definitely made it hard to get over that, but I was nervous. It's my first time, so I know what it's like to be up there now. So I'm ready for the next one. I'm ready to be on that podium.
Off-season's been great. Get a lot of work in. This year I'm looking forward to making the States, hopefully getting 100 wins, and ending my wrestling career right. Just I had to work harder, and I think this year will be a good year. We have a lot more kids. I'm excited to see how the younger kids grow, and hopefully they carry on the program in the future.
Yeah, I had a good season, but I'd like to just stay healthy this year, hopefully qualify and actually make it farther and go to states. And last year I was sick, fell short, could have performed a lot better than I did, and I just want to make up for it. Yeah, I think we lost our, most of our stronger wrestlers. Probably, the majority of our varsity team is now gone, but the rest of the new guys coming in have a lot of heart. Hopefully we can have a lot of wrestlers that'll grow in the room and just get stronger over time.
And you got, as we can see, I know this is a scrimmage, but we got a lot of guys in the room. Like Sam always seems to fill the room. We got like 40 guys this year.
Plus I think
40 plus. So that's good news for wrestling.
I think we should hang in. I don't know. It's definitely not going to be our strongest year, I don't think. But I think these kids are going to do good. I think it's going to be a lot of younger guys on the team. Definitely. I jumped to Evan Mono last year. I found out at the end of the season that I was sick, like
so you didn't get
almost majority of the season. Well, I wrestled all through postseason and everything, and then at the end of the season got blood work to see because I felt horrible the whole season. Want to know why? It turns out I had mono. So this year I just want to focus on my health and just not stay healthy, not get sick or anything. Right now I'd like to just not cut too much until post. Try and stay my own body weight, walk around, and stay healthy, eat good. Not trying to deprive myself yet until it's needed.
Yeah, we look forward to a healthy Dan Hansberry this year.
Hopefully.
With the team, I think the whole team, everybody's been working hard at practice, so, I think we're going to do good. We got a bunch of new freshmen coming in that have been wrestling for a little while, and everybody's been working hard. Personally, I don't have any, really crazy goals, but definitely, get a lot of pins. Work hard every day, keep working hard every day, and keep up with it. And I want to qualify for regionals. He works really hard, so he keeps me working hard. And all the other guys too, my brother, Orion, everybody works really hard. So you just want to you want to keep up, you want to keep working hard. And Ryan obviously is really, really good, so he's getting me better. Just gonna keep wrestling, keep going, and then if it comes down towards the end of my career, definitely want to get the 100 wins. It's definitely a big goal of mine.
Preseason's been going good. Went to University of Pennsylvania for some camps, and been going to the gym, bulking up.
Good.
I want to get 20 plus wins, and I want to make regionals this year. We want to get the most winningest team in Upper Dublin history, which is Coach, how many wins is that? 20 wins. I'm not committed yet. I'm going to wait till the end of the season to make my decision.
Off-season's been awesome. Just been in the room most days, training with some great guys. I'm looking, obviously, get to states and just perform better than I did last year. Hopefully that means state medal. So that's my overall goal. Honestly, because my freshman sophomore year, definitely, not my best ever. Last year, just making it there, felt great. I feel good about this season. I know there's a lot of good guys, but I made it there. I didn't get the medal last year, so this year, I didn't achieve my goal last year. I'm going to get it this year. Everybody's already gelling real well. We're all getting along. We're all working hard. We're in the room. Guys are asking questions. Love that. Love that they're coming to me after practice, trying to work better, trying to work harder, get better.
My preseason been going good. We've been wrestling since September, kicking ass every day in the room. I'm going to try and win some matches in regionals, see how far I can go, but I'm really trying to set the District 1 pin record and the Upper Moreland pin record this year. I need 27. I'm actually enlisted in the Marine Corps right now.
The preseason has been really good. We've all been able to get in shape and get ready for the season. I really want to try and make it to regionals this year, and hopefully we can have a winning record this year for the team.
We got a good set of guys, just get back to district duels as a team, try to get to Hershey as a team because, last year, trying to make the best year, So definitely opened my eyes to know that I can compete with them, Division I guys, and just believing in my ability to get on the podium this year. Definitely going to be one of them top teams in District 1, and again, just trying to get to team states as a team. Individually, definitely getting on the podium this year. Definitely too satisfied last year when I got to states, so just been working on trying to get on the podium.
We got a couple good kids that are coming back, and lost a lot of seniors last year. But yeah, we should be pretty good, not too. Definitely make it to the state level this year. Wrestle some good kids. Probably back at 115, 116.
Okay.
116 at postseason, probably 120 regular season.
Team expectations usually same every year. We want to be district champions, come out on top out of District 1, make it to team states. Yeah, I would like to be on the podium. I'd like to place in the state tournament of Pennsylvania. At the start of the season, it's usually just getting you ready for competition, getting you ready for the first tournament of the year, and then progressing as the season goes by, getting better every day. But I think we can fill all positions. I think we're a great team. I think next man up, that's always how it goes.
All season, just keep working, make sure I'm staying healthy, really working on technique and changing my mindset into constantly scoring points. And then this season, just go out there and wrestle my best. Like, nothing to lose, put my best out there. I feel like it really boosted our confidence, knowing that we only lost one guy. We're bringing in multiple very good freshmen, so I'm feeling a very good season coming from a dual team and individual perspective. Everyone has that goal that they're reaching for, like regional, making the regionals, state titles, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, everyone's working hard, trying to reach their goal, and it really makes it more competitive in the practice room. Blood, sweat, and tears every day. Just knowing I put my best out there, not having any regrets, medal, no medal. As long as I put my best out there, I'll be happy.
It's my senior year, so a lot of things to do, a lot of chance to wrap up this season and prepare for college. As such, one of my personal goals is to just put in a good show and just enjoy the last season I have of high school wrestling. Then, of course, I want to get around 20 wins before I leave. I think that's a good goal. Additionally, this is my last chance to get an opportunity to go to regionals, so I want to take full advantage of that and place at district. It's cool to see. I've wrestled with the club for quite a while, so it's good to see a lot of the kids finally mature and grow up and finally come into their own, both as wrestlers and as people, and it's cool to be a part of that journey. We also have a very young team, and as I leave, it'll be cool to look back on and see how well all the other wrestlers are doing and how well they do, because we're going to have a great team in the upcoming years and this year as well. Packed with as many matches as we can get, which is good. As I said, I want to get a lot of wrestling in this year and make it a best season as possible, and the best way to do that is to wrestle good people. Iron sharpens iron and all that.
The team's looking great. I mean, just we have a lot of young guys, new guys, so definitely trying to make improvements and see how we do with district duels and stuff. So yeah, last year winning districts and regionals and then not placing at states was really a bummer. Now this year I definitely want to get up there really high up on the podium and get that state title. So yeah. Dylan Evans won it last year at 52. So he's probably going to be one of the guys, maybe going 60. So, yeah, I mean, love freestyle and Greco. So went out there after not placing at states. I wanted to go get a Fargo title, so got that done. It was fun.
Was that in Greco or freestyle?
Freestyle.
How'd you do in Greco?
I took fourth.
This year individually, I'm looking for a district and regional title. Hoping to go undefeated. It's looking pretty optimistic. Keeping the right mindset, training every day, every night. Just do as much as I can to put myself in the best position. Yeah, we lost Cannon and Hershey last year and a couple other seniors, but our senior class, we're real close. We wrestled each other for a long time, and we're tough. It's nice because it hasn't been like that in a while. So we got a lot of good guys at good weights and people to get better as the years go along too. It's been a long, tough road for me to get here, but I should see Carmen Cortese. Actually, I'm not sure.
Good. I like that attitude.
That's everything I've ever worked for. So that would be that's everything I've been working for and am working for right now. So I mean, I can't even imagine what that would feel like right now.
Preseason here at tennis been going great. I mean, we got a great young team. They're learning quick, working hard. We're getting the job done in that room. I got great expectations for the season. Okay. Expectations for myself to just do 2 times better than I did last year. Make it to that districts, get onto that regionals, have a positive record, have a great season. have fun with my team, learn new things.
The team this year, we got a lot of new guys. So I think our goals as a team is just kind of uniting these new guys, getting them some experience because we're pretty young right now. So I think if we get them some experience like next year and the years coming, it'll be pretty great. I got some of my really good friends. I've been wrestling with Ryan and Joe Palmieri and Aiden Morrison since I was 5 years old, so it's really cool seeing them all coming up to the high school. We always battled, it's interesting because we've been the same weight since we were little, so there's always this battle, but it's great team dynamic to have someone pushing you in the room like that, and I think it's very helpful to both of us. My personal goals is I definitely want to qualify for states this year. I made it to regionals last year and I came up short. I didn't wrestle how I wanted to, and I think I really want to make it to states. That's been my goal for a while. I'm not sure yet. I think right now I'm going to start out at a little bit of higher weight, and then once it comes to postseason, I'm going to definitely try to drop down and get a better advantage when it comes. But it feels great. I mean, I love getting those matches in. It's going to better my record, and I would love to reach 100 wins. It's going to be hard to attain because I've missed that freshman season, but if I can get a lot of matches in, who knows what will happen.
My preseason's been going pretty good. I worked pretty much all off season, so I'm really excited for the coming season. I want to make it as far as possible in the postseason. I'm not really on track for that 100-win goal, but I feel like I'm past that and I can move on to bigger things like maybe states or something. No, I'm not committed so far, but I am in the college search process. I want to go to school, but I don't know where yet.
It's been going good. We're working hard in the room. I was doing some camps in the off season at UPenn. It's been going good, just getting my work in, getting ready for the season. My expectations are to meet last year, go to regionals, and hopefully win some matches there, and hopefully I can get 20-plus wins this season. Not yet. I'm waiting until after the season maybe to look at schools yet.
All season got a little bigger, hit the weight room. Definitely wanted to climb up the weight classes this year, and very excited for this year. Just to let it fly. Senior year, have some fun. Hopefully get a state medal this year. I think for as far as like the wrestling mentality goes throughout the season, I think it's kind of like doesn't really matter to me as much, but it's definitely good to like have a name for myself coming into some of these tournaments and postseason. It makes me a little more excited. Definitely boosted my confidence a lot and made me more excited to like train over the summer and for the next season, this upcoming season, and just to see how much higher I can push the bar. I'd like to win regionals again and get a state medal, 2-time district champ, regional champ, state medal, Hershey. It's the goal.
All right, everyone, welcome back. And now, like I said before we broke for the video, we're going to talk about the top incoming freshmen here in District 1. PA Power, our friends at PAPowerWrestling.com do a top incoming freshman report, the TIF. For those of you who have subscriptions to that service, you are able to see that. What we're going to do right now, we're going to talk about a lot of those guys that have debuted on that list, and you're going to add in a couple others that we know of that maybe didn't make the list for various reasons.
Pull the list up to help us out.
So, as we look at this list here, it is littered with freshmen from Faith Christian Academy. Partially why they are highly regarded as highly regarded as they are within the state of Pennsylvania. They're definitely an up and coming program, and this is a lot of reason why they're ranked as high as they are in the AA state team rankings. You look at Adam Waters. He is a freshman debuting at 172 pounds. He's currently ranked, I believe, second in the state at 172, maybe third in AA. Don't quote me particularly on that, but he's either second or third. That's followed up by two of his number 8 and number 9 fellow teammates of his, Cale Whitemoyer and Jason Singer. Again, Singer, 189-pound freshman. Wiedemoyer, I apologize saying your name correctly, 152 pounds. Like, we're looking at big guys here, debuting as freshmen.
Yeah, and Nate, over the years we talked about these freshmen coming into higher weights, and some of them have not had the success. I mean, Talon Hogan last year had a great year. I believe he's a ranked wrestler coming in as a sophomore. But it's tough for these guys to come in. That kind of accolades. I mean, he was, oh my goodness, the things that he did. What are his? He's a 5-time state champ as a junior. As a youth wrestler, 2-time medalist, 2-time MAWA first champion, Super 32 first as a middle schooler, Fargo All-American, Surge High School champ, Powerade champ. So he's got some really good credentials. But it'll be interesting to see how he does at these upper weights. And, we talked about 172 being a weight class that's kind of wide open off camera. So it'll be interesting to see how this young man will do at 172.
It's always interesting to see some of the bigger freshmen. Obviously, Faith Christian's got one of the tougher schedules, in District 1. Not having a big league, they can kind of go wherever and load up their schedule with big tournaments. So, by the time they finally do get to regionals, to states, it's been a long season for these kids. How they kind of hold up at that point in the season. I know a lot of these Faith Christian wrestlers are a little extra seasoned. They've wrestled all year round. They have a great club. So they're putting in the work, but it's always interesting to see how they can kind of finish strong, hit that freshman wall, even just the beginning of the season with the longer periods, the tougher competition, the way it just kind of takes a toll on your body. So that's the thing to kind of watch later in the season.
Yeah, something tells me the way that these guys have been training up there at the Lions Den, that this is that transition as far as the physicality of it will not be the problem. If to your point about the wall, if there's going to be any problems with any of these freshmen, it's more on the mental side with hitting that wall of just the season, as we all know, is such a grind, and the tougher the competition, the higher the expectations, and all those things can start to weigh on individuals. So but again, great support system in place there for those guys. But as we move down the list,
he is ranked 6th in the second rankings by PA Power.
Okay. We look at the list. We've got Chris Dennis, a talented freshman at CB West. Under the tutelage of new head coach Dylan Schwartz. Already on the season 4-1. He was second at the Pottstown Invitational. He comes into credentials. He's a two-time youth state medalist, a WOW kickoff 1500 champ, Mawa champ. He was Reno World's first, and USAW 14 under All-American. So again, these guys, their resumes. Glenn read off Adam Waters' resume. We can go down the list of all the tournaments and accolades that these wrestlers have accomplished up to this point. But to Nate's point, the game changes a little bit at the high school level. It just does. And sometimes you run into wrestling, men. When we're talking about comparing a freshman to a senior. So again, those are all factors to keep in mind and put in perspective. Glenn, any other guys on the list you want to give a special mention of?
Well, I do want to talk about Conestoga as a team. They're much improved up and down their lineup, but they have an incoming freshman at 114 who got an honorable mention, Stephen Wychecki. He's slated to go at 114 pounds. He's a super junior high champion. That's usually a pretty big accolade for some of these kids to medal in their career. So we're going to want to keep an eye on him. He was youth state 4th place. He's 7-0 already. So he's got some matches under his belt to start his scholastic career. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on the main line on him. But Pat Woolshin from Council Rock South, to me, may be the best of the brothers. We just talked a little bit about that. He's a 2-time MAWA medalist and a 1-time youth state medalist. He's 6-2 with a 3rd place finish out at Cumberland Valley. Obviously, a loss out there. But he is the guy that we just saw the other day. He had a tough loss. I believe he wrestled Kaufman. Is that right? Cole Kaufman from Penn Ridge. So he's going to be tested a lot with that schedule of theirs. He'll probably wrestle one of these Faith guys as well. So let's keep an eye on those two guys, and they're just honorable mentions here in District 1. We have a couple other guys. We have Blake Boyer from Kennett. Maybe Nate can talk a little bit about him.
Yeah, we just got a chance to see him this past weekend at Chesmont tournament. He kind of walked his way through that, won the title there. His one loss this year is to Central Dolphins' Liam Flanagan, a former state qualifier. So obviously he got a good test right off the bat. And one of those things we kind of talked about with just that upgrade from going to junior high, and even some of these tournaments in the off season for junior high, coming into high school. You get a Central Dolphin kid who's been to states. You're gonna get a challenge. Those guys are as solid as they come. So he's got a lot of potential. Kennett's got a couple good freshmen. Zach Jaffe, the other one, he's 121 pounds. So having those two freshmen right around the same weight to be able just to go. They have Kane Lengel right there, also in the lineup. This is just part of Kennett's rise into becoming one of the better teams in District 1.
Nate, we're not talking about Chesmont only right now.
Yeah, sorry. Well, what else do we got here?
Welcome to my world, Nate.
I'm going to speak about Pierce Kane and Max Tansini. Max Tansini from PV, freshman, kind of complements that team overall as a lower weight. And again, I got to see him wrestle at True Power out in Tyrone earlier this fall. And again, he had a great match with Chestnut Ridge freshman Dom Deputy. Those two have gone back and forth, both ranked highly on that top incoming freshman report. And then Pierce Kane from Rock North, he went 5-0. We haven't seen Tansini. Let me back up. Haven't seen Tansini compete yet because of the way the schedule falls this year, the extra week, and some teams took advantage of it, some didn't. So PV's one of them.
Football related for PV.
Not only that, you have Quakertown hasn't wrestled yet, so there's some teams that haven't even seen the mat yet. That's kind of an oddity at this point, where some have wrestled 6-7 matches, others have not wrestled one yet. But Pierce Kane went 5-0 at the Boyertown Duels over the weekend, and again, he's not wrestling. He was wrestling tough competition. That Rock North wrestled Easton, they wrestled O&J, they wrestled Satterton, so they wrestled some household names, and he went 5-0 on the day. And again, he complements that lineup because he's practicing every day. I have to imagine with Aaron Sement.
And Aaron Sement was everything. He was billed as a freshman last year.
Right, and probably then a little bit more. So there are, that's a good someone to model after and train with on a regular basis.
In addition, let's not forget about Quinn McBride, Penn Ridge, just another young guy in their young lineup on a very solid Penn Ridge team. We did get to see them wrestle twice, and he's already 6-3. He did not place at Cumberland Valley. But I think that Penn Ridge youth movement, again, those are guys that have been wrestling together for a long time. We talked to Coach Coons last year about it. I talked to him a little bit about it after the match last Wednesday night at Council Rock. So, again, just a great addition to that Penn Ridge Ram squad.
You gotta look at that little section right up there at the top of District 1. Faith Christian, Quakertown, Penn Ridge, all in that little patch. You got to figure you're going to be seeing a lot of names from all three of those schools. Just the way that they're able to, be so local and compete all off season. I think that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. And now, obviously, a lot of kids going to Faith Christian. That's a polarizing topic, I realize, but at least they're hopefully staying in District 1 these days instead of traveling up into District 11 or Malvern Prep or wherever. So it'll be interesting to watch how that little pocket of talent churns out talent the next few years.
Yeah, there are a lot of names on this list other than Waters, obviously Cole Weidenmoyer, Jason Singer, Mason Wagner, Cole David Heiser, Shane Wagner, Armand Waltonball, and Johnny O'Brien. So this is, I call them like the junior all-world, freshman group. But this is a group that will put Faith Christian on the map. They're already getting recognition as the number 2 team in the state in AA. They're going to have to perform at that level as a dual meet team, but certainly individually, they're going to have success. They had success early at Cumberland Valley, where they won the team title. So keep an eye on these Faith Christian kids in the AA side, and certainly these other guys on the AAA side.
Yep, they join a lineup that returns 5 state qualifiers and 2 of those being medalists. So again, that's the improving the overall quality of their lineup. But we're going to change gears here. We just got done talking about the top incoming freshmen. Let's talk about the top returning wrestlers. District 1 enjoys 27 state qualifiers coming back from last year. Only 8 returning medalists, and we're going to talk about them first. If we're looking here, we've just mentioned Aaron Sement earlier. He was 3rd at 106 last year. Gage Vitero, Faith Christian, we were just mentioning that program. He was 3rd at 113 pounds. Colin Guy. I promise by the time he's done, I'll get that right on a regular basis.
I already apologize for everyone at the start of the season.
Quakertown freshman had a great freshman year, finishing 4th at 132 pounds. Cole McFarland putting Haverford back on the map and on the podium.
Yeah, he's a tough little dude.
Yeah, he's a pinner.
I got to see him at districts and regionals last year. Very impressive.
Dylan Bechtold, O&J Roberts, 5th at 172 pounds. Max Stein from Faith Christian Academy was 6th at 132. Kelly Kakos became a 2-time medalist for PV. Lee, finishing 6th at 138, and then Luke Ryder was 8th at 106 pounds for the Rock South Golden Hawks. Like I said, when we look at these 8 guys here, let's go quick. And I know I'm kind of putting you guys on the spot. Let's go pound for pound right now. These guys, who do you got? Who do you got as our best shot at a medal, highest possible in District 1? And then we'll go both AA and AAA, so we won't exclude. We won't be AAA only, as we're sometimes and often
Nate's
accused
gonna have
of.
to go first. I have to think about this.
Well, the thing I think that stands out, first of all, is just that Keikos is the only senior returning with the medal. So, a lot of the talent in District 1 is going to be back for another year, even next year and beyond. But just looking at, pound for pound, obviously Botero making it to, state semis last year and placing third as a freshman. He's obviously tough. As a Penridge guy, I hate to say it, but the Quakertown's Cullen guy, he's just fun to watch. He's a goer. He doesn't seem to be afraid of anybody. So, I think a lot of big things are in store for him heading in the future.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Cement jumps out to me right away. 3rd place finish last year. I love his style of wrestling. It looks like he can go any way he wants to go. He can control a match. He can wrestle another style if he needs to and be successful. That's what I like about him. He loves to scramble, even though he's under control at all times. His intensity level is nonstop, and it just keeps going up and up. As we saw last postseason, he seems to have that extra gear. But I kind of agree with you, Nate. Kelly Keikos is all upside at this point. At Perk Valley. As a senior, he's put in the work in the off season. Saw him at Apache right after the postseason. He's going anywhere and anywhere to get a good workout. And I think that this is a kid that we've seen, kind of develop and grow into a winner. So I really expect Keikos to be high on the podium, and Aaron Cement. Those are my 2 guys that jump out to me right away.
I'll go last after listening to you guys.
We always give Joe the advantage.
Yes. I mean, I pose the question. It's only fair I go last. You talk about Gage Bateri, talk about Aaron Cement. Yes, they've quickly become household names here in District 1 in wrestling circles. Colin Guy too as well. Next, and right in that mix with all of them. I'm gonna go. And again, I'm gonna get. I know I'm gonna get hammered for this, and you guys know where I'm going.
Save him just for
I'm
you.
going. Yeah, you did. I'm going Dylan Bechtel, and had a phenomenal summer. We're gonna talk a little bit more about him when it comes to college commitments. He's one of those guys that, like Keikos, spends probably every extra minute possible in that stellar trained room. And just again had a great off season, had a great run in postseason. He came. With if you watch his matches, just turn it on when it needed to be turned on. Again, he makes it to the semifinals as a sophomore, runs into that guy from Waynesburg that everyone keeps talking about, and it didn't go so well, but wrestled back and took 5th place. I think that he's poised for a big season. The thing we talk about McFarland, he's right there too with that group, just because he can score in so many different ways, and he's just so scrappy and tough on top. So that's such a thing where you have a guy that's tough on top, and he can find a way to neutralize a lot of other better guys. So that's what I got. I know I'm probably gonna get hammered for it, but it is what it is.
No, but you do bring up a good point. These guys are juniors, and they got a good taste last year. And sometimes you see juniors make that next step at Hershey, and it's usually on the medal stand. It's usually in that top 5. And Bechtel definitely does have the grit and the fight to do that. He's been in some really, really big battles over the last year. So if he's healthy, I agree with you, Joe. He's going to be on the podium.
So let's stay with these returning wrestlers. And of the 27, or if there's someone else that you think is going to make a leap that didn't make it to states last year, now here's your shot. So I don't know which one of the 2 of you wants to go first. If you want, I'll go first. To take the pressure off you guys and to give you a blueprint to which you want to copy from. I'll be more than happy to be that guy. But if one of you would like to go first, by all means, step up.
I just think the thing to watch this year, just from a big picture thing, Suburban 1 had 21 kids go to states last year, only 8 are back. The Pack kind of on the rise. They had 12 kids go to states last year, 9 of them are back. So, the Pack and the Chesmont have kind of, pulled in front of each other the last couple of years on who's going to be, that second league behind Suburban 1. I think the Pack is on the rise. Obviously, you just talked about Bechtold, but they have some really tough kids. The Boyertown kids are guys to watch. Gavin Sheridan, I like the way he goes. Just from the Chesmont, John Pardo from Kennett. He was 1 win away from a medal last year as a big boy. Him and Quakertown's Calvin Lockman could be, they could see each other in the regional final, and they could be, wrestling pretty deep into the state tournament as well, I think. So those are a couple guys I'm watching.
Yeah, I mean, this is an easy thing for me out of this 27. Beck Sajadina from Council Rock South. I mean, coming off a Fargo title, I think he really is poised to medal and medal high. I think state championship is on his mind. So that's the guy that I'm going to look at as one of our real chances for a state champion. Additionally, some other guys, Carmen Cortez surprised a lot in the postseason last year at regionals. He had a great tournament. So there's another guy, a senior, kind of last opportunity. He's another guy that I see that's got a chance. And then some of these, smaller guys. Cole Coffin still wrestling down low. He's legit. So I'm looking at him to make some noise. And obviously, Luke Reeder up on the stand already. He's going to go a little bit higher this year, depending on where he comes into that lineup weight class-wise. Additionally, I'm a big Josh Barlow fan. I think he just kind of stalled out a little bit at States, had a bad draw there. So there's another guy, senior, another opportunity for him. I'm going to keep an eye on him. And Mason Ziegler from Quakertown, he wants to be on the podium. So watch out. He's on a mission for sure. So there's some guys to keep an eye on there. And all the Faith Christian returning. Chase Hans, I'm sure he wants to win a state title. So I think he's going to be on the stand. And a couple of these other guys, like Luke Sagolski, Cody Wagner, and Max Stein, returning to Hershey are going to get onto that podium. So I think it's going to be a very, very healthy medal take this year for District 1, not only AA with Faith, but with the AAA, and not just from the SOL, because we already talked about some of these other guys. Gamble Williams we haven't talked about yet for Sun Valley. So this is a good group at 27. There's some other guys that we're going to talk about after Joe kind of gets into his guys that jump out. That we'll talk about, but just talk about the Euchre brothers from Perkiomen Valley. I mean, they were banged up a little bit at the end of the season last year and did get a chance really to get into the postseason. So it'll be interesting to see the Perkiomen Valley team, to see who they can get through regionals and get a team up to Hershey. So that's another team I'm going to keep an eye on throughout the season, individually and as a team.
Safe to say, like Glenn definitely looked at my notes.
I did not. I have my own notes right here.
However, maybe I should have just went first, but you heard there. I was going to talk about Chase Hans being a guy that got a year under his belt and would be pushing to get on the podium for this year. And then from there, I went Cole Euchre. Because he was a freshman, makes it to the States as a heavyweight, gained invaluable experience there. He'll be back again. Crowded upper weights with his own older brother and his twin brother for that matter. I had Mason Ziegler as well. Was on the podium in 2021. Did not make it back on in 22. Man on a Mission probably doesn't give it enough credit as to what Mason Ziegler, again, another guy that's in that stellar trained room on a regular basis, has really paid that price to get the back to where he wants to be. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about him at the end of this segment. One that no one talked about, and I myself slept on him last year, and all he did was perform, was Curtis Nelson from Ridley.
Oh, yeah.
Ridley has some tough guys. Guys have been in that program for a while. Not just Nelson, who's a state qualifier. They have at least one Rainey left. That's tough. It seems like there's been a bunch of Rainey brothers, and they've all been tough and scrappy coming through. I know I'm forgetting like two other guys. In doing rankings, looking at what they've done and where they've been. just haven't made that level change to get to make it to Hershey. But Curtis Nelson definitely putting Ridley back in Ridley's name back in everyone's mouth when it comes to talking about wrestling success in the postseason, and I think he makes it to the podium this year. And then I think you look no further than Springford and some of their lightweights. Cole Smith and Quinn Smith have become semi-household names here in District 1, but they haven't at the out in Hershey done what they need to do yet. I think this year Cole Smith makes his way to the podium. Also, Quinn Smith, once he gets healthy, I think he makes it as well. Again, you kind of root for kids that you got to see grow up, and I got to see those guys wrestle through middle school, and then get to cover them, and you kind of see them become, these great human beings. So, I like to see them do well. And then, Nate and I talked. The other one, Ben Faribaugh from Strathaven, just an enormous human being at that heavyweight, weight, and he can move and he's athletic. We'll see how he looked coming off of football. I'm sure he's been shaking some rust off, but I fully anticipate him being there. Push for that regional championship come February, and looking to get on the podium for that Strathaven team in March. So. That's kind of all I got. Two guys, guys that weren't returning state qualifiers that I expect make that level change and go and make it to Hershey. First on my list is Colby Martinelli from Penridge. We talked a little bit about him earlier and at Penridge team overall. And again, in our third segment, we're going to probably talk and gush a little bit more about Penridge. But for now, I'm just going to stick to Colby Martinelli. I think he was something like 96 pounds last year, and he was right in the mix to go to states coming on in that weight class, and not nearly being the size of some of the guys, especially guys who crept down from 113. He was going to battle with them, and it just didn't work out. I think the size caught up to him at the end. And then the other one again, I'm not really going far with this one, but Sam Gotro from OJ Roberts, again, a guy he's a scrapper. He goes out and he just wrestles hard. He stays in your face. And I think this will be the year that he makes that level jump. He was a regional qualifier as a freshman, but it was in that meat grinder of a weight class in the South with like Jimmy King down in Sun Valley. And
Hershey.
Cannon Hershey. And we just had a pretty good freshman year for what it was, with the shortened season and limited competitions. And then he had a really good year last year, and then didn't work out at regionals. So I think this year is the year where he makes that jump.
Can we stay right there at 107, because you're bringing up some good names here. You're looking at these PA Power Rankings, the second edition. We have 4 of the top 10, and just ahead of Martinelli is Lenahan, who Lenahan just knocked off Martinelli. It was Martinelli's first match coming off a little illness, and it was a close match. But Lenahan is another guy we should keep an eye on here at 107. In addition, Gus Smith is ranked number 2, and then Tansini from Perk Valley is number 8. So a real nice group here at 107 for District 1. And Martinelli kind of is the wild card here, because he looked to be all of 107 the other night. He looked good. He filled out. He's been in the weight room, and his style is great. I love it. He just lets it fly. He's not a slow starter at all. So that weight class for us is solid. But don't forget Connor Lenahan in there as well.
Yeah, I like Martinelli. Just watching him as an undersized guy, I think Penridge is one of those fun teams to watch, because they all just kind of look cranky, right? Like when they're out there, they just look mad they just look mad and cranky, and I think that's a good thing. I think Talon Hogan's another guy that you got to keep your eye on. He started at 160 last year as a freshman. It's a tough weight to just come in there and try to make it to Hershey. So I think he's one of those guys you look at. Sun Valley, all the way down there in Delco. I got to give a little love to Delco and Tommy Ellis, but they just got to transfer in Brandon Carr. He was second place at Archmere Academy in Delaware last year. So obviously he's a huge addition to a pretty good lineup. And over there in Coatesville, getting a little bit better as a team too. Andre Szczesniak, if I can say that right. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Sounds like so. Coatesville had a nice showing at the chess months.
Third place in the league. So Coatesville's a little bit on the rise, but Andre obviously took sixth place last year as a freshman, so at regionals. So he's one of those guys that he certainly, with a little bit better room that they have there now, he can get some improvement.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go to my homer section at Happer Horsham, and Chris Staub made it to regionals last year. Did not wrestle well at all. He knows it, so he's coming back. He missed the COVID year, the entire year wrestling. His little brother, Benny, joined the team this year in a much improved Happer Horsham team. But I think Chris Staub's a guy we're going to see that's going to make it up to Hershey this year as a junior. I still kind of think he's like a sophomore because of that COVID year. So keep an eye on Chris Staub. He took second at Pottstown at the opening of the season. So some other guys, that are out there, we're not going to see where they land weight class wise for another, at least until tomorrow. Some of the teams getting started tomorrow night. I know Quakertown and Council Rock South wrestle on Wednesday. Wait, it's only Monday, but we're actually coming on after that match. So keep an eye on those weight classes. I think weight classes right now are somewhat important, but not necessarily where they'll end up. Gavin Cole's another guy kind of behind Sadradinov at Council Rock South. He took fourth at the same weight class as Sadradinov at Cumberland Valley. He looks outstanding. Whatever weight he chooses or Sadradinov chooses to go, he's going to go the other weight class. But that gives that Council Rock South a real good 1-2 punch in the upper middle weight classes. So keep an eye on Gavin Cole as well. It's another guy that I wanted to mention.
So as we finish up this segment, we're going to talk about this year so far what we have. We have 8 college commitments here in District 1, and as Mike is going to put the graphic up on the screen, in the class of 23, we'll start the juniors. We'll start the seniors. We have Jake Allred from Conestoga going Division I to Franklin and Marshall. We have Zach Borzio from Quakertown going to Williams College. Luke Heimbach from Boyertown going to Penn College of Technology up in Williamsport. And then we have Kelly Kakos from PV going to Lock Haven, and Max Parnas out of Westchester East going to Ursinus. So we have those 5 seniors right there who have committed to continue their academic and their athletic endeavors at Institutes of Higher Learning. Right there, Kelly Kakos going to Lock Haven, a guy 2-time medalist. The Bald Eagles are getting a good one out of Kelly Kakos.
Oh, that's a great addition for them.
Yep.
Additionally, this is a short list. Usually we have a little bit longer list this time of year. But obviously that November, acceptance dates just coming in. I know a lot of schools are going to be having their college, premiere days, where they announce where they're going. So keep an eye for this list to grow. Hopefully, Mike keeps that up to date all year long on PennsylvaniaWrestling.com, and certainly Joe and I and Nate will keep track when we hear, because we get a lot of emails. But make sure you guys let us know, coaches, parents, kids. Give us a shout on the forum when you get these signings, so we can get that updated.
And before we go talk about the Class 24, if you are wanting to do, again, we'll throw it out here as we do every year, if you want to do some kind of announcement, and you'd like us to be part of it, we can come out and film it and, give you the publicity that you duly deserve for the work you've put in and rightfully earned. So we could be of assistance with that if you'd like. Again, not a shameless plug at that. But let's change the look up at the class
change
24.
The year.
Yeah, change these juniors, these 3 juniors who are coming off just in some capacity great either regular high school season, great summer, or both. And we started Dylan Bechtel from O.J. Roberts going to Bucknell, committing to the Bison, and Dan Wernsberger. Again, great fit for him, going to the IWA and going to compete up there. Their coach of the upper middleweights, Kevin LaValle, who's an All-American at Bucknell back in the day. Really, really good for Dylan. It's a good move for him. And then 2 guys that are teammates at Stellar Trained are going to be teammates at Lehigh with Bekruz Sadradinov and Mason Ziegler from Quakertown. You talk about Bekruz, again, doesn't have a state medal in his on his resume yet, but this is the year that he's going to get first of 2. And Lehigh is just getting, just going right down the road, just heading south, about 20 miles south, 30 miles south, and getting 2 great wrestlers out of District 1. So, Glenn, Nate, anything you want to add about either of those guys?
I think just looking at the, some of the younger guys, like I said earlier, 7 out of the 8 returning medalists, underclassmen. So I think we're going to see that list grow. Some of these underclassmen that are already showing, some greatness.
Yeah, and part of, too, this Class 24, these juniors, these are guys who big wins, big tournaments, state medals in their like I said, in their trophy cases at home. You look at some of these other juniors that are coming in that are gonna carry the banner for District 1. They just maybe don't have those marquee wins or those marquee tournament victories that they're going to pick up this year. So these are guys that have been established and they've made themselves a household name. There's going to be guys on this list that we talked about that are going to become those guys, and there'll be opportunities for them, and maybe they don't make that commitment until a senior year, and that's fine. It's not a race. It's not who can do it first. It's in the end, it's where you end up. And so for the juniors and even seniors this year that are considering competing in college, take every opportunity possible, and don't compare yourself to others when it comes to this stuff. If you want to compete at that next level, I'm sure you'll find a place to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Division I, Division II, or Division III, but moving on to the collegiate levels at any of those divisions is outstanding for these wrestlers, and obviously academics and career choices have an impact on where kids are going to go, and some of these kids will choose to go to the higher level programs, or other kids will choose to go to fit their academic needs. So again, this is a real short list. I mean, it's probably the shortest list we've had in a while, so we'll keep an eye on this list as we move forward in the season.
So, folks, this is the end of our second segment, our Wednesday video. As always, thanks for tuning in. Third video, our third installment, we'll have some coach interviews and the much anticipated top 10s. And now, not only is it just Glenn and I talking it out, we bring Nate into the fold this year. So, 3 different guys, 3 different perspective, 3 same haircuts. On that,
2 with glasses.
Yes,
1 that can't hear.
But you get the idea. So just to lend some more perspective on who we see as our top team. So tune in for that last video, and you'll get to see that out of us. Thanks as always.
All right, see you soon.